I'm just kind of testing this out, just to figure. I don't know what's happening right now, but I'm trying to. How do I get to the page? Uh, I don't know if I leave this. Does it stop? Let me see. Go back to YouTube. I don't know what's happening. Oh yeah, it is working. Cool. I don't know. Hmm. What's happening? Okay. Oh yeah, it is working. That's cool. How that works. I don't know. Hmm. What's happening? All right, let's run with this. Oh, yeah. Cool. That's how that works. Cool. Let's run with this. I'm just gonna keep this open for a little bit. All right, let's run with this. Cool. Cool. Let's run with this. Just one watching, but this. I'm just gonna keep this open for a little bit. Is anyone here? If you're watching this and it's working for you, just put a comment saying that this works. Just one watching, but this. I'm just gonna keep this open for a little bit. That would be appreciated, so I know that this is working. If you're watching this and it's working for you, just put a comment saying that this works. Just one watching, but this. I'm just gonna keep this open for a little bit. That would be appreciated, so I know that this is working. If you're watching this and it's working for you, just put a comment. I'm gonna pause this because that's annoying. Re-hearing myself back. I did just release a new video explaining this, whatever this is that I forgot. So yeah, let's do this. Kinda do that. Comments is down here. Cool. All right, what are we working on here? If you guys have any questions, any suggestions, anything like that, let me know. Do say hello so I can say hello back. I'm gonna try to, I don't know. I don't know. Let's go back here to the deep. That's a hole. Yep, that's exactly what I need. Audio is a bit quiet and only in left ear. Yeah, my microphone records in mono, and I don't know how to change that, because it's like I use it to record music and I usually record in mono. Advanced audio property. Huh. Down mix to mono? I mean, it's already in mono. Is that better? Yeah, I think that should fix it. Let me know if that worked. I'm pretty much just kind of testing out everything. I do plan on live streaming a whole lot more. Yeah, there we go. That fixed it. So let me see what this one looks like. It's rude. Oop, wrong one. There we go. I don't know what I'm doing at this point. Two watching. I'm guessing me and you. Me and you. So what do you want me to do? I could do whatever you want. I'm pretty much gonna be kind of working on this though. I'm trying to find a way to have a dungeon that when you go through it, it will never be the same every time you go through it, if that makes sense. So let's say if you're playing the game, the order the dungeon appears for you will not be the order it would appear for me if I also played the game. And I want to make it infinite, but I know for a fact I can't make it infinite because there's no way to procedurally generate stuff in this system. So let's see. Dungeon. Map making all is fun. You want to basically make a random generated dungeon. That's so cool. But sounds, yeah, it's pretty hard. Well, it doesn't really have to be randomly generated. More like, let's say for like, all the maps will be, pre-made, and then it'll just appear in like a random order. So like ice cave, damn it, what do you call it? What kind of caves are there? So an ice cave, a regular cave, a fiery cave, and then like have those different archetypes. And then every time, well, not every time you go through it, every time there's a new game, the order just changes. I could probably do that, but let's test it. Let's test that out. I think I have an idea here. Map, fire cave. Actually, let me just copy this one because I need them all to be that size. Fire cave, earth cave, grass cave. Yeah, let's see. Earth. Let's just do the 4 elements here. Actually, not really the 4 elements, but let's just make this one grass. Why not? Alright, so I got my caves. This one's ice, so let's get some ice in here. This ice, this fire, let's get some fire in here. Earth, so that's just gonna be a regular cave. Grass, yeah, that's fine. Alright, so I know what to do. I know what I could possibly do. RPG Maker, script calls. How do you do map transfers? So yeah, I have my dandy little cheat book here. Actually, I'm gonna have to make this full screen. How do you transfer map? Here it is. Event player, new event. Player touch. That's what I do most of the time. I just sit here trying to come up with ideas versus like actually working on the game. And then most of those ideas I come up with usually don't make it because I don't know, But if you have any suggestions or anything like that, if this gets boring and you want me to do something else, let me know. Let me see what else. Okay. Script. Alright, so let's figure out how this works. So player, reverse transfer map ID. Ooh, see, this we could do randomly. Okay. XY. That one might be kind of harder. Unless we always make the entrance in like the same exact position. No one's really gonna notice. and then I could always make it so you start from the top going to the bottom, or the bottom going to the top. So what I mean by that is, let's for example go here. That would be the entrance, that would be the exit, and I have to make these in the same exact position. So let's just put this here to kind of like, actually also put this up here like that, put this down here. I don't really have to do all of that, but I kind of just want to use it to test. Minimize that, select the whole map, fight cave, oops, paste that here, that same position, yep, same position, same position. Fire, there we go. All right, so same position always, right? So that way, this one is 12:15. We never really have to change that. 12:15. Direction, I don't know if you actually put up. I've never actually used that script call before. Oh, okay, look at number pad. 8. So make that 8, fade type 0, 2, or make that 0. Alright, take out all these spaces, actually keep those spaces, and keep these spaces, but put a space there. Map ID. So my map ID is going to be not really the hardest part, but it's pretty much what we're trying to figure out how to do now. So we have map ID 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, 19 to 21. So what I can do is I can come back over here. Script. Deep. Oops. Deep dungeon. Actually, deep map. Deep map what? ID equals to. Let's pretend this is Ruby for a second. Ran 19, 20, 20, 21, 22, was it? This is 21, 1 over, cool. But this is indeed 18. Okay, I see what I did wrong. 18, 19, 20, 21. Press OK. Press OK. Bring this chat back up over here. See what's going on. All right, so we got that. All right, we do have to figure out how to get that random number though. It's kind of hard there. I have to look up mostly everything because I don't do JavaScript, I do Ruby, so things is kind of like weird. Let's see. I know I've done a random thing before, so I just gotta find that and you reuse it. Pet spawn, that's not random. We've skill cost. Ooh, you know what's random though? My spell books are random. Oh, but it's actually doing the random. Oh, okay. I'm actually stupid. Not really, but I could just use the random that's literally built into the game. I don't know why I sometimes just try to like make my own script and forget that most of this stuff is actually in the game already. Control variable. Actually no. Yeah, control variable. I kind of want to make my own whatever, but doesn't matter. Just cut that out. Delete this whole thing. New event. I mean, control variable. Rand room. Or I could just call it the same thing. Deep map ID. Set that from random. But then that implies that all the rooms have to be in like when I'm making all the rooms, they have to be in order. So let's say I want to have like 20 levels of this dungeon. They all have to be literally map ID 19 all the way to whatever 20 is. And actually do 19 where it's actually 18. Put that to 21. Alright. And then map ID is gonna be $sign game variable dot value. Let's see. Wrong place. I just use this. Playhouse. So it's game variables dot value. Yep, I did it right. Cool. All right, let's go back to the deep. So it's gonna pick a random room. So it's gonna transfer you to that random room. Cut that out. So this is just me brainstorming right now. Obviously, this isn't how it would actually work in the game because all the rooms will kind of be different. And that also kind of, damn it, I already messed up. Damn it, I already messed up. Which one was first? Doesn't matter. Actually, I was just gonna do that. So put this back into the deep. Put this back into the deep. All right, yeah, I already messed up because I did it at 12:15 while it should be 12:14. Not that it really matters, but I just want to be sure. Copy that. Delete, paste. I think that's what I'm gonna do nowadays. Whenever I start working on this game, I'm just gonna start live streaming it. All right, let's put the player here. Actually, keep it at that place, and then let's see if this actually works or gives us an error. Either way, we learn from it. Doesn't work at all. Cool. Let's figure out why. Why didn't it work? Oh, because I took it out from here. That's why. Look at that. Problem solved. Make sure that's all good. Make sure that's all good. Yeah, live streams are good. Yep, live streams are good. Nope, still not working. F8. Alright, it says game variable is not defined. I forgot the S. Damn it. I hate when I forget stuff. Go back to here. Because then that means I'm gonna have to replace all of these. Paste. Oh yeah, question for you. You work with RPG Maker, MV, XP. Well, what do you use? I want to know. Man, this is just blowing my brains. What's happening here? Below player, player touch. That, then that. Oh, you know what? It might still be the same issue. So let me go ahead and, just to be on the safe side, go back to player house. Go back to this. Always when you think you know something, turns out that you don't actually know nothing. If that makes sense. Here it is. I'm just gonna copy that because I'm pretty sure it's the same issue that I've been having. There we go. It's working now. Cool. But the only thing though is now we have to replace all those other portals. But my thing is, cause what I kind of figured out the other day, I mean I kind of always had it in the back of my mind, but I wasn't really thinking about it, is that my map is kind of ridiculously small. So being as small as it is, in order to like make gameplay or like actually make the game a lengthy amount, that means I have to fill it with a lot of content, right? Because like for example, some people will have like big open world, and then most of the time you're getting from point A to point B, which is what, you know, let's say for example the game is 100 hours, and realistically it's probably like 90 hours, and 10 hours is just you getting from point A to point B all the time. So since it's kind of quick to get from point A to point B, there we go. So it's kind of doing random. Now the only other thing that we have to do now is, now I want you going forward to be random, but going backwards has to be the same order, right? So for example, if you went to the ice cave, then the fire cave, then the earth cave, then the grass cave. Actually, let me start that over because I'm gonna forget. Ice cave, fire cave, earth cave, grass cave. When you're going backwards, you have to go back to the earth, the fire, the ice, versus it being random. So now we have to find a way to keep track of that. All right. So that means I could keep the front ones because those ones will always be different. But then I have to make it so you come back to the right cave when you're going backwards. Alright, so that means I could still kind of use this, but which is a big but. I think we have to use some arrays. Might have to use some arrays. So what that means is we have to look up JavaScript. Nope. JavaScript arrays. So pretty much we have to store all those numbers. So for example, if you go from map ID 1 to map ID 2 and then map ID 3, it's gonna store each of those individual map IDs in an array. And then when you're going backwards, it's gonna take the last number in the array. But then if you go forward again, it's gonna add that last number back to the array. And then when you go backwards or remove, okay, that makes sense to me right now. So let's see if that actually works. Cause sometimes it might make sense to you, but then when you actually try it, it doesn't work at all. But let me see. I gotta find the right syntax. If it was Ruby, that I know, but JavaScript, don't know. Okay, so what is an array? I know what it is. Creating an array, I know how to do that. Actually, let's make sure I do know how to do that. Yep, the same way that you would do it in Ruby. Changing an array element, that's fine. Accessing the full array, that's fine. Blah blah blah. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care for this. Accessing the first element. Yep, that's kind of what I need, but this is actually what I need. Accessing the last element, array element. So this is kind of what I need, but this isn't doing what I. It might. Let me see. So mango. Where's this array? Test. So if I run, it should be test. Okay. So all it's doing is putting their array dot length. So for example, if this array, because normally, just I don't know if you understand how coding works. If you do, let me know. I don't know if you know, but I'm gonna kind of explain it to you anyways. Also, before you leave, can you let me know that you left so I know I'm not talking to myself? Because right now I'm just talking to you since we're the only two people here. So here's how it kind of works, right? So let's say you have an array, right? And then let's say the array has A, B, C, D in it, right? If you want to display B, what you would do is you will put A because that's you know the variable that the array is being stored in, and then you kind of have to put in the index of B. And with coding, it starts at 0. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3. So if I want to get to B, I would put 1 in there because this is the first one and this is the 0th one. All right. So that's kind of what this is doing. So for example, it has A, B, C, D, E, and then all it does is it calls fruits.length. What that pretty much, the length part pretty much, let's say for example, if there's 5 things, actually if there's 4 things in here, and you do a.length, it's gonna return 4, right? So that's why he's putting fruit. Okay, let me do this real quick. A1 equals B, right? So when you call A and then you put the index of 1, it's gonna return B to you. So what they're pretty much doing is they're doing A, and then the index is a.length minus 1. And the reason that they're putting that minus 1 in there is because you kind of have to start counting at 0. And when you do length will always return a positive number because it's counting how much stuff is in there. So it's either going to be 0 thins or positive amount of thins, right? So that's what's happening here. And I kind of lost where I was going with this. Where was I going with this? So fruit length, blah, 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 right? And whenever I run this, it's going to, I don't know. Oh, it actually displayed it. It's not supposed to, but it did. I guess that's... So if I actually take out that and run this... Oh, it's actually not going to work because this have to be in... Run. I'll also put this because people are weird. Let me go ahead and get this, and I also have to kind of put this between there where it says scripts. And then what's returning that? It doesn't matter. And then he puts last here. Okay, so if I copy this, which I don't actually know what that's saying, and I put A. 1. This I could delete. See? Now it's gonna say B, right? And then if I do, all right, so that might, nah, it's not deleting it, so that's not gonna work. I needed to actually not only pull it back, but I also need to delete it. All right, so we're gonna use that, but we need something else. We're gonna need something. Oh wait, no, that might just be it. Actually, no, that's okay. Now that I'm thinking about it more in depth, that's not gonna work, right? Because think about it this way. Think about it this way. Let's say, for example, let's go back to RPG Maker, because this is the part that's actually hard. Getting the random rooms is fine because we could just keep going through random rooms, but actually going forward random and going back not random, that's the hardest part. And pretty much what I mean by that is, like, let's say for example, right, I go from this room to the next room. It's gonna generate a random room between all these rooms, right? And then if I go backwards, right, even if I go backwards to the correct room that I'm supposed to go backwards to, when I go forward again, it's gonna take me to a different random room. So it might not be that room that I went back from, if that makes sense. So now we have to figure out not only a way for us to go backwards and have it not be random, but when we go backwards and go forward, it won't be random unless you get to the next, unless you're going to the next random room that you've never been into. I'm thinking here. I'm thinking. Alright, so let's think about this. Okay, so we could definitely use the array dot length. That would definitely kind of solve our problem, right? And then when I'm going forward, hey, what's up? We're just trying to figure out a very, very hard problem. Are you a coder? If so, let me know, because you might help. Not really a coder per se, but someone that could think very logically, because this is blowing my mind right now. So what we're trying to do is, we have the deep, which is going to be a random, well, not really randomly generated dungeon, but the rooms will be pre-made, but then the order you go through those rooms will be different, right? So here's a problem we're stuck in. So we've already found a way to make all the rooms random, right? So let me just play this real quick. So the rooms are random. It's not the same room 3 times. Those are 3 random rooms. It just happens that we only have 4 options to pick from, right? So all the rooms are random. But here's where the issue is. If I go backwards, I actually took those out. But we have to figure out a way to, so let's say for example, we go forward randomly. When we go backwards, it has to be the room that we were just in. And then when we go forward again, it has to be the room that we were just in before we went backwards. Until we go to the next room that we haven't been to, then that would be random. Which is where my mind is getting blown. Alright, so I kind of figured out a way to go backwards and go back to the same room. Now I have to figure out a way to go forward and I'm thinking here. This is a hard one, very hard one. Let's see. All right. So okay, let's stay in this room, right? So if I go forward, it'll be random. If I go backwards, it'll be random. So what we have to do is find. So first of all, let's build this array, this list of arrays. Parallel process. Actually, no, let's not do. Actually, yeah, parallel process. Also erase event, because we only need this to happen once. And then let's go to script rooms. Let's go back to here. So access to the full array elements, property blah blah, length blah 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 blah, looping array. Here it is, add into the array. That's what we need. Push. All right. Room dot push, not lemon, but we need this to actually be a number. So this ID is 18 for ice cave, right? We don't really need that, but I'll keep it there anyways. Rooms that we can't actually define here. We have to define that elsewhere. So let's go back to here. New event. Room equals a blank array, and then I need this to cell switch. If you're still here, which I can't really tell. Nope, you're not here no more. Cool. Whatever. So we got rooms equals blah blah blah, and then I just need cell switch A, new event, cell switch A, and then also don't forget to make this parallel process. Cool. Let's start back here. Right? So this is gonna make a blank array, and then whenever we go into this cave, it's gonna push in the number 18 to that array, and it's gonna erase. So if we go into this room, it's gonna push in 19 because that's the room number. $20. 21. I mean, I kind of code, but I don't really code. Especially not in JavaScript. Okay, so push, room push, blah, blah, blah. Cool, and I appreciate you for that. All right, so, and then let's try this out right now. Also open up this window because we're gonna need it. And then also, okay, rooms is blank. So once we go into this room, what happens? Oh, okay, my bad. I have two options. Oh wow, cool, 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 cool. Welcome back. We're still trying to figure this problem out, and I kind of typed this wrong, so I'm not gonna go back to all of them and change that. Change. Oh, where are you guys from, by the way? Where are you guys from? Let's start a conversation. While I try to, you know, I know for a fact by the time I'm done figuring this out, I'm gonna go mad, cause like I'm from the UK. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. What kind of which RPG maker do you use, and why do you like it? Other one. Where's that at? I've never actually heard of that. Is that like a? No, I don't want to sound dumb, but like, is that a city, state, country? But let me know. Capital of Canada, like 5 hours from Toronto. Oh wow, cool, 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 cool. I kind of figured you was from Canada based on your name, but I actually never heard of Ottawa before. I use Aches only. Only one. Okay, that's cool. Ace. Now I've been using RPG Maker since like I don't know if you guys know this, but like I actually didn't discover RPG Maker until like I don't know if it was like GameStop that I went to, but like I found RPG Maker 3. And then I was like, what is this? So it was like actually for the PS2. It was like a 3D thingy, you build your own world, and then I you know, I kinda like that. I'm using MV, but I originally started with VS Ace, and that's when I found your channel. Oh wow, cool, 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 good stuff. So yeah, I was using RPG Maker 3, and then I bought RPG Maker 2 because I was hearing people say that you could do a lot more stuff in RPG Maker 2 than you could with RPG Maker 3. So I bought that. And I was just like kind of playing around with it. And that was like what, maybe 13 at the time. You know, just playing around with RPG Maker. And then from there, I discovered RPG Maker XP on the PC. And then from XP, I was also just kind of playing around with it. It wasn't really until RPG Maker VX that I actually started making actual games with it. And then Ace came out, and now I'm here with MV. So yeah, it's been a while. I also did play around with like RPG Maker 2K3, I think, those older ones, but yeah. So also, you guys let me know what kind of videos you guys want me to make. I still got to finish off the tutorials for the RPG Maker MV. Also the actually no, that's something different. The Alpha ABS. Now I kind of got bored making the RPG Maker VX. I mean RPG Maker MV tutorials, mainly because it's literally the same thing as my RPG Maker VS Ace tutorial. It's just a minor changes. I still never made a full game. I just maps mostly. I just like watching your videos. Thank you, and I appreciate you for that. I definitely appreciate you for that, and I know for a fact that you've been watching my channel for a long time, because like your name, I've been seeing it over the years, so I definitely know you as like someone who's been there for a long time, and I definitely thank you for that. Oh yeah, where are we in this? So this is gonna push the room. So now let's see if this works. Hopefully it works. So right now I'm just kind of testing the waters to see what's gonna happen, right? Let's. I don't know if I started the game or not, but let's restart this. Okay. F8. And let's go to rooms. So 19. Let's see if this goes from 19, and then I needed to add a second number. Nope, still saying 19. There we go, 1918. We might have an issue here. Okay, 19, 18, 19. That's good. Now, it should be 19, 18, 19, and then 19. If that doesn't work, then we have an issue. Oops. Oops, again. Okay, we have a problem. So what it's doing is, like, let's say I'm going from the same room into the same room. It doesn't add the two numbers together. So for example, if I go from the fire cave to another fire cave, it's only gonna recognize that I went into the only one of the fire caves, which isn't what we want. We need it to like recognize every kind of cave we go into. So now it adds the 21. So now it's gonna add the 18 again at the end. Now it should add another 18 at the end, but I'm guessing it's not, because for some reason once you go from the same room to the same room, it doesn't kind of work. You know, I've actually only completed maybe like 3 games, and it wasn't even like my major projects that I was working on. Like for example, what's the games I finished? You know what's funny? What are the games I finished? And where did I upload them to? That's my biggest question. Like I don't have those game files anymore, but I know it was damn it. What are those games? It was a horror game that I made because I was kind of playing Slender Man, and I was just infatuated with Slender Man, so I kind of just remade that game. And then it was another game where like you just fought waves and waves of monsters. And then it was this short game that takes like 10 seconds to beat. Driftwood Gaming. Let's go to Driftwood Gaming, because I do watch their videos sometimes. I grew up with the Dungeon Warrior game. You know what we should do? The 3 of us. We should make a game together. That's what we should do. That's what we should definitely do. That way I could kind of like engage with you guys. Let's see if we could steal this idea. RPG Maker MV, random repeatable dungeons. Oh, let's see. Let's find out.
Hello everybody, Drifty here from Driftwood Gaming, and in this RPG Maker MV tutorial, I'm going to show you a few ways that you can make random repeatable dungeons.
It might be what we need.
So the first way would be probably the easiest way to do this, and you would rely on random encounters for the damage. And basically you would generate a new map, and then you would select it as a dungeon, and then you would right click and generate dungeon. And then once you've done this one time, you can copy the map and then paste it right on the same spot. And then you can just edit this and change it to say like level 2, level 3, level 4. Change the using a self switch here. We're using a regular switch. That way we can turn off that switch when we leave the dungeon, which will put you back on page 1 and let you call on that common event again. So the other event you would put in the map would be a simple show choices. You're going to make a little animation or something, or use the default one, and then
random dungeon next.
Set it to walking, stepping, and direction picks. You're going to set it below characters and player touch, and then the only thing in the contents are going to be show choices, and the choices are going to say next level or exit the dungeon. And when you say next level, you'll call on your next level common event. We're going to do that right now. And then you would turn off the switch that's for the treasure chest. And then even when they exit the dungeon, you'll take them back to where they entered at, and then turn off that switch as well. So let me show you the dungeons before I get into how to make it and everything.
The Driftwood Legacy. Cool.
So you can make like a little area like the Adventurers Guild or something, and then have an event playing saying, welcome to the Adventurers Guild, we like to test your skills in a random dungeon. Say yes, it teleports you to one of the random dungeons. And I turned off the random encounters just to save time for the video, but you would put random encounters so the player would be fighting as he's looking for the treasure chest, or she. You get an item from the treasure chest, which will be in your random loot. We'll go over that. The first tutorial I did today was kind of short, as a 3-minute tutorial, so this might go on for a little bit longer than that. Then you would have your exit event, and this might take you to the same dungeon, since I only have 3, but you can have like 20 or 30, and then you're less likely to get that same dungeon, but it might take you to one of the other ones. Okay, so we got a different one. We have different battle backgrounds. We have a different
Okay, so that we could do. That's not hard. All it's literally doing is just taking you to a random location, which we already got down. The hard part is, here's the hard part, right? Now, with the way he's doing it, it's like you're only moving forward, right? You're never going backwards. Not that maybe you actually no
background,
because like the portal disappears and you're only going either forward
you get
or leaving the dungeon,
chest, which will be in your random loot. We'll go over that.
We could do it like that too to kind of save time, because this is hard what I'm doing.
So this might go on for a little bit longer than that. Then
so
you
yeah, you can only go forward or leave the dungeon,
and this might take you to the same dungeon,
right? But here's what we're doing, right? We're going forward and backwards, right? So that means, actually, let me figure out why this is doing what it's doing. So I'm guessing when it goes to the same map, why is it? Here's what we're gonna do. We gotta test this out. Put test here. Let me put some words here. So what we're doing is we're trying to make it so we could go backwards and forward, and it will be. We could literally just do what he did, cause like at that point it'll just simplify everything, and I don't have to kind of do what I'm doing. I'm thinking now. You gave me a good idea. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. All right. Yeah, so it needs to save the previous map that you were on. So when you go backwards, you could go to that previous map. But here's the kicker, right? So when you go backwards, it saves the map. But then that means when you go forward, it can't be a random dungeon again until you go to the next map that you haven't been to. So so that way you could go forward and then backwards and then forward to the dungeon you never been to. So we have to save the map both ways, where like it's saving it when you're going backwards to kind of like, let's say you missed something, you could go backwards, get it real quick, and then go back to the dungeon that you were just in, instead of going backwards and then going forward to another random dungeon, which is where the kicker comes in. But if I give up on this, I would do what he did, because that's kind of like it's a simpler way to. Well, we've already done that at this point. We're just trying to make it save the maps and whatnot. I forgot what I was doing. Oh yeah, I gotta put these everywhere just to see what's happening. Alright, let's go back over here. Yep, it says it. Okay, so the event isn't playing. That kind of helped me. I mean, I kind of knew that, but it helps me confirm it. So when you go to the same map, the event is still erased. So we have to kind of cheat. We have to kind of cheat. Wait. This might work. So here's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, it's definitely doable. Oh no, I didn't mean to delete that. Damn it. Let's copy this. I know what we might have to do. So keep that. So here's what we're gonna do, right? I'm gonna take this out. Actually, no, I'm gonna put that back in. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna make a new map. Actually, I'm gonna keep this map, right? This map is gonna be our middle map. So let's delete all of this. I need it to be blank. It's gonna be our middle map. Delete this. I don't know what this is. Actually, this we need because it's gonna be our middle map. So we need that, and then we could delete this, and then always make this go back to our middle map. All right. So that way, when you go to the middle map would then direct you to the next place that you're going to. You know what's funny though? Sometimes you think you have a good idea, and then as you're executing that idea, you start to realize that it's not gonna work. But this, I'm not saying that this isn't gonna work, but I'm just saying, like, I kind of had an idea that said that's not gonna work. So let's find out. So it's always gonna take you to the middle map, right? So delete all of this. And then we could have the middle map be the map that controls where you're going. Alright. And then let's make this parallel process so you don't actually have to... Oh yeah, let's also do this too. I'm gonna make this... Oh yeah, delete that. Just delete all of that. So that. Alright, so let's make this fade in the screen. And you'll see why in a second. I see this interface like countless, I've seen it countless times, but I still don't know where everything is. I kind of have to like click through it to find it. I'm pretty sure that's on the first, no, it's not the first page. Oh, here it is, fading screen, cool. Fading the screen here. Fading, oops. What just happened? I think I just copied and pasted with like one click. Okay, that's weird. Discard that. Now we have to go back over here. Or maybe I just copied the wrong thing and then I just pasted it. Could be that too. Alright, all of these will fade in screen. And then all the teleportation, whatever's, will fade out the screen. That way when you're in the middle room, you won't actually... phase out the screen, right? Cool. Could delete these. It's only gonna be for like an instant, so you won't actually notice that you're not going to the next room. And this is definitely gonna fix the issue that we have where the event doesn't come back when you go to the same room twice. Because technically you're not going to the same room twice. You're going from that room to the middle room, and then even if it is the same room, the middle room will always be in the middle. So that way, this erase event won't stick. It would actually reset the event, and then you could do it again and then have the event erase. Alright, let's oh yeah, let's go back to the middle room, just make sure everything is good here. That's fine. Alright, let's do that. You moving somewhere or going on a trip or what's up? There we go, that's kind of working. It's a little bit delayed, but this should be working in our favor now. So if I What do I need to do? Oh yeah, F8. Rooms. So 20, 18, 20, 18 again. So now let's just keep doing this until we go to the same room twice. There we go. Now it should be 19, 19. Cool, that's working. Now we have a way to see all the rooms that we're going into. So this is literally like a digital, well, not really a digital map, but a numerical map. So we went from map 20 to 18, then we went back to map 20, then went to 18, then went to 19, 19, then 20, then 19 again. All right, so using that, we should be able to navigate backwards. Should be able to. Right? Okay. Now we have to figure out how to actually go backwards and it be the same room. So let's think. Heading over to her friends for the evening, so I gotta pack up the Xbox. Cool. I'm a PS4 kind of guy myself, you know, and ever since I built my computer, I haven't touched my PS4. So like a good 7 months now, I have not touched my PS4. I also bought a webcam, and I was gonna start making these videos with my webcam, but like I just keep forgetting to use it, and I don't even know where the webcam is, and I spent like $80 on that, which is kind of like a waste of money. That's another thing I wasted money on. But let's see. One day I might be doing webcam stuff. Let me see. Okay, so we have a way to keep track of all the rooms that we went into. Now we have to find a way to go backwards, and then after that, go forward without going into the next room, which is where the kicker is. So let's use this, right? So it's always gonna transfer us to the deep, right? But how is the deep gonna know which direction I'm coming from? So this is where I'm gonna make control variable. I would use a switch, but I don't want to have to turn off. I don't want to have to. Oh, you know what? Screw that. I know what to do. Just use a script. Cause me personally, I hate to use up. I know it's impossible to use up all the variables and switches they give you by default. And even if you do use them up, you could always just get a script that extends it. But I still don't like using them. I just rather make my own. Backtrack equals true. So when you go backwards, this is gonna turn on backtrack. Then let me copy that. I'm gonna go in here. Backtrack is false. So when you go backwards, the backtrack thingy is gonna turn on. When you go forward, it's gonna turn off. Now, aha! I think I figured it out. Okay, I think I figured it out. Alright, I think I figured it out. I'm gonna keep saying it until I have. Actually, so conditional branch, right? Make that a script. So if backtrack was true, right? So that means I'm backwards. Okay. I think this did it. Right? So I think this did it. Let me delete that though, because I don't need that there. So when you go backwards, it's gonna turn on this event that says backtrack. I mean, not this event. This switch. Or this well, it's at this point it's a switch because it's true or false. But technically it is a variable, and technically all switches are variables. Just I don't know, but okay. So backtrack is gonna get turned on. This is why I don't finish my games, by the way, because I spend hours trying to figure out these systems that I don't really need to, making it harder for myself, and then at some point I just lose interest altogether. But we're gonna finish this one. I was actually gonna start a new series today. Kind of using this idea right here with the cave and the random dungeons and stuff like that. But I was like, no. Let me finish this game before I start any new games or anything like that. Which is also kind of what gave me the idea to live stream. So I was like, I know you guys don't want me to make a open world RPG using this game that I've already been making. So I'm just gonna live stream this game when I am working on it until I finish it, which I'm kind of close to being done because most of the stuff are done already. I just have to kind of add a little bit more stuff to it just to fill out the world and have people have stuff to actually do when they're playing the game. Because right now you're just killing monsters and doing quests, but I kind of want some other side activities in there to kind of, keep the gameplay from being less repetitive. Alright, before I forget what I'm doing. Alright, so fade in, blah blah, backtrack is true. Transfer player to the deep, right? So backtrack. And then when you're here, it doesn't have to do the backtrack. We might not even need to keep track of those arrays anymore. But I'm gonna still keep track of it. Based off of how this is working. Cause this might have been all we needed. Alright, before I forget. So backtrack is true, and then backtrack true. So if backtrack is true, that means I just went backwards. Right? So if that means I just went backwards, when you go forward, I don't need to come back to the deep. I could just go back straight to the new map. I mean, the old map the new old map that I was in. So if I paste this here, where am I getting transferred to? At that point, I can do... Wait. How am I gonna do this? Oh, wait. We might still need those arrays. I need this. Because this is the map ID, right? So I'm gonna make this rooms length. Now is it gonna be -1 or -2? Because if you think about it this way, now let's keep it at -1 for now, right? And then have this one. I don't need it to transfer me back to the deep. I just needed to transfer me. Actually, wait, this might be in the wrong place. Okay, I get it. So take out the minus, because I want the last item in their array, right? Actually, wait. So I want the last item in their array. So this does have to be -1. Right? And then I want the second to last item in their array. So this one has to be -2. All right. We're thinking here. We are thinking. And then if backtrack isn't on, then at that point, I just need you to teleport me to the deep. And once you teleport me to the deep, it's going to teleport me to a random room. Let's try that out. Let's delete all of these. Yeah, that's definitely what I was thinking. And also that way you guys kind of give me feedback on the spot. Which is the major thing. Alright, so let's think about this again. Just to make sure it makes sense before we try it out. We have these variables over here, keeping track of which rooms we go into, right? And every time you go forward, without going backwards, that's what this is doing. This is the else part. If you go forward without going backwards, it's going to take you to the deep. And then once you're in the deep, from that map, it's going to teleport you to a random location. But if you go backwards, which is this one, is going to turn backtrack on, and then it's also going to teleport you to the room that you were just in. And then when you go forward again, it's going to teleport you to the last room that was recorded, which was the room that you were coming from. That's making sense. I think this may be it. This may be it. Keep your fingers crossed, guys. All right. Okay. So F8. Let's make sure. So we're in rooms, right? So if we go forward and everything broke. Backtrack is not defined. Oh. That's fine, because we don't need this to be defined right now. Because we haven't gone backwards yet. Right? But I do need to see what room. So we're in room 18 and 20. And now we're in room 18, 20, and probably 20 again. Okay, so that means when we go backwards now, we should be in room 20 again. Unless the game breaks. I think the game broke. Rooms is not defined. Oh, okay, I see what I did wrong. As long as you see what you did wrong, then at that point you could fix it, and hopefully that's the only thing that is broken. But I forgot my dollar signs because it's a global variable, not what do you call it? Not a local variable. Which means no matter where I am in the code of the game, that variable will be available to me. But if it's a local variable, it's only available to me in that little block of code that I'm working on. This shouldn't work because you can't go backwards first, because then it's going to be like, I don't know where you are, guy. So it doesn't know where to teleport me to right now. So it pretty much teleported me to I don't know where, but not where I want it to be. So let's just kind of walk through this real quick. So that's same map again, same different map, one more different map. F8, bring up rooms, see where we've been. We've been at 19, 19, 20, 18, 20. All right, so if we go backwards, let's check this. Yes, it kind of worked, but it didn't really work. It worked. It definitely worked, but it didn't really work. Now here's why. It's kind of doing what we want it to do, but I didn't see this part. I didn't see this bug. Well, it's not really I guess it's a bug. So when we went backwards, it took us to the right room, but it also added that room to like as if it was a new room. So it's not supposed to do that. Or it could just be actually no, I don't think it's okay. Let's see. So that means when I go backwards, it should take me to. Well, now if I go forward, it's gonna take me to 18, which isn't what we want. But if I go backwards, it's gonna take me back to the same room. Or not. Actually, no, it worked. Because then I could infinitely do this now. See, it's always gonna be. So I'm kind of stuck in the loop. It's gonna be ice, regular, ice, regular, ice, regular. But that's okay because I know how to fix that. The reason why it's doing it. Hey, what's up? Believe Soft. Is that your company or like do you just believe in soft stuff? But what's up? We're kind of working on a problem. We just kind of figured it out. Um, there's only one major issue that we have, which is easily solved by one, not really one line of code, but like, so every time we go into a new room, it's always gonna do this, right? So we don't want it to do this every time you go into a room because then we'll pretty much get stuck with that loop that we were just in, where it will always transfer us back to the room that we were back in. Oh yeah, everyone definitely liked the stream because that kind of helps, I guess. But yeah, like the stream, guys. Um, and thanks for telling me that because I kind of forgot. All right, we're almost there. So pretty much all we have to do now is uh so backtrack true. So what we have, it's funny. I actually have to make more rooms. So like, but it doesn't matter as long as we have this template down packed. No matter how many rooms we make, it's always gonna work. So it's all about making that template first and then expanding. Stretching. All right, cool. Let's see. So all we have to do is pretty much check for this condition here. So when you're backtracking, it should not record the new room, right? So it shouldn't add this. So all we got to do now is do a conditional branch. Okay, that didn't work. Man. All right, let's go back over here. Go back here. Copy that. Get out of here. New event. Conditional branch. Script. Backtracking. Create. So backtracking is true. So pretty much the same thing that we did over here. If backtracking is true, don't do that. Well, we still needed to do these two, right? So if backtracking is true, don't push in the room as one of the rooms we have. All right? I got to think about this if I actually execute it because, like, I like being half wrong, not 100% wrong. So let's see. Let's just kind of think about this, right? So if we go back to the room that we were already in, it's not going to add any new numbers. But then we also have to make sure that when you go back to the room that you were just in, it doesn't add any new numbers. Because if you go, okay, so if you go backwards, it's going to add, okay, so let's say you're in room 1 and you go to room 2. When you go back to room 1, we don't want it to add 1 at the end. And when you go back to room 2, we don't want it to add 2 at the end. So right now it's not gonna add 1 when you go back to room 1, but we have to find out a way to make it not add 2 when you go back to room 2, because you've already been in room 1 and room 2. It doesn't need to add room 1, room 2, room 1, room 2. That's not what we want. Cause if you do it this way, it's gonna, so if you go backwards, it's gonna add room. Well, it's not gonna add room 1, but when you go forward, it's gonna add room 2. So now you have room 1, room 2, and room 2. So if you try to go backwards again, instead of bringing you back to room 1, it's gonna bring you to room 2, which is all complicated. Which all sounds complicated once you say it out loud, which is what I meant to say. Okay. Now let's figure out how to make it not add room 2 twice. But just to make sure it is working. Dang it. That's what I should have done. I'm just going to copy this. Go back over here. Paste that. Copy that. Delete this. Paste that. Hey, what's up? Oh, more people. Cool. Milky, start game, please. In a little bit, we just gotta add all these stuff over here. Make sure that oh dang it. Make sure what we're doing isn't broken. Yeah, discard the event. Go back over here. It's funny how much, I mean, not really funny, but like it's, yeah, I guess it's kind of funny how much stuff you have to keep track in your head, because if you, oh yeah, definitely, I'll see you later. Don't forget, us three, we have to talk about that game that we said that I said we should make together, since we never finished the game. So if you guys want to, we could definitely make a short game together or something like that. Just I'll send you guys a message later, asking you if you're still interested or anything like that, and then we could do like a small project together. But yeah, I'll catch you later, man. Peace. Okay, backtrack equals true. Just copy that. Earth cave. Fade in. I'm gonna come back to that. Backtrack. Alright. Let's see if this works. New game. Well, it's not gonna work. Well, it's gonna work. What I'm trying to test out is gonna work, but what it should be doing still isn't gonna work. No, room is not defined. Blah blah blah. That's fine. That should still. Did we break it even more? I think we broke it even more. Hold on. Let's see. So backtrack isn't true. So yeah, it should still take us to deep. Oh, you know what? Actually, no. Backtrack true. Nothing happens. And then else push room. Fade in screen still erases their event. So at this point, I'm lost for words. What happened? What broke? Let's try that again. Maybe it was just a fluke. Rooms, nothing. Why is it calling this though? It shouldn't be calling this now. Because all we're doing is going forward. Oh, okay. Wait. But who turned on backtrack? something is broken and I don't know how to fix it. Wait, let's try this again real quick. Let's try to figure out where this broke at. New game. All right. So going forward, why is it doing that? It should only do this when we're going backwards. So that means from the deep. Am I missing something? Backtrack true. Teleport backwards. Oh, you know what? I know. So yeah, it is doing this. But how did backtrack get turned on? That's my question. So let's find out when backtrack gets turned on. F8. Backtrack. Backtrack is true. Why and how? Let's turn this off manually. Check it again. So something is turning on backtrack. It shouldn't be this, because this is player touch, that, and you get teleported to right here. All this does is check if this is good, but that's good. Maybe something over here, perhaps. Oh, okay. I see. That's what's happening. Change that. See? To be honest, I don't really watch anyone else. I just kind of like make videos. I have kind of seen Driftwood Gaming. I think he's like the only other person. And who else? Who's this guy? I used to, well, not really used to watch, but like I used to have Diamond and Platinum. I still do have him on my thing too. Let me see. What's this guy's name? Yeah, this Diamond and Platinum guy. Mainly because I used a lot of his scripts, and when he used to be active, I don't think he still does any videos anymore. But yeah, me like actually watching people use RPG Maker, I don't really do that. The only time I might do it, actually, I can't really think of any time I would do that. Unless like I want to like make a video and then I search the terms and then just to see what other people are kind of talking about with the same thing. But in terms of actually watching people, I really don't do that unless that. I'm trying to think actually. No, not really. Mainly if like I ever have any issues with RPG Maker, the first thing I do is go to Google and go on the forums and stuff. But mainly watching videos for it, not really. And I pretty much almost can figure out most stuff by myself like this. Cause as long as you know, cause sure you're not gonna know everything and how to do everything with RPG Maker, But as long as you have all the tools, there shouldn't be any reason why you can't figure it out. Like for example, with the array stuff, I didn't know how to do the JavaScript, so I literally just Googled what I needed to know, and then like I'm reading through this, and I kind of like have all the script calls in one place, like so I know which script calls to use for whatever I need to use. So I just kind of like make a whole bunch of tools available to myself, and then I kind of like figure it out. Um, it's rare that I ask anyone for help. It's either I figure it out or like I Google it, and then if I can't find the answer, then I guess that's pretty much it. Um, the only thing I do ever ask for help with though is scripts, because I don't script myself. Now I do kind of know how to you know, I do know a little bit of Ruby, but it wasn't enough to actually make my own scripts. So that's pretty much what allows me to like edit all the scripts to my liking. So I could edit scripts and stuff like that, but I can't actually, you know, write out the whole scripts and stuff like that. So I have asked people for help with actually making some custom scripts. But I kind of find it counterproductive, especially when I have to ask for help, because then it slows down my whole process. So that's why I kind of like just want, you know, because then I have to wait for someone to reply, and they might never reply. So I just rather, um, yeah, programming is definitely my weakest point with RPG Maker, cause like, and you know, and the artwork too. Like I do graphic design, but I can't actually like draw, and I don't know how people do that, especially with sprites and stuff like that. I've kind of did a sprite sword before, but that was pretty much it. So those are my two weakest point. That's why most of the time I just the assets that I use, um it's usually like the default, and also I do get some from other people, like for example this one right here. But I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm one of those people, and there might not be a lot of us out there, but I'm kind of one of those people that always like the default, you know, sprites that they give, because I know people will say, oh, don't use those because then your game is gonna look like everyone else's, but I kind of like how that looks. So that's why I usually, when I'm making my games, I kind of start with the default, and then I branch out a little bit depending on what I need. But I kind of like, you know, how it looks. It's not bad, especially since this one they get it from almost all this stuff is from VS Ace, and I've always liked those. But yeah. Oh yeah, that's cool. You should definitely keep that up, cause the more you do it, the better you're gonna get with it. That's just with anything. Oh yeah, let's finish this, cause I think. Oh yeah, it was because I put one equal sign. One equal sign means you're setting it. That's why I kept saying that it was true no matter what I did. And two equal sign is asking, is it true? So two equal sign is question, one equal sign is statement. You're saying that it is equal to that. And then two is it equal to that? That's where that came in. So if I hit yes here. Alright, so this should be good now. There we go. Okay, so we got 2020. 2019. 2020, 1920. Okay, so if we go backwards, yep, we're back in 19. Yep. Okay, so it didn't add anything, so that's exactly what we want. Oh, you know what else that I didn't account for? Now, I can go forward and I could go backwards. See, this just keeps getting more insane the more we move along. Now, think about this, right? This is one thing I didn't think about. Let me get back to this chat. Here it is. So here's one thing I didn't think about, which I should have thought about it, but I slipped my mind. So let's say we go backwards. What if we wanted to go backwards again? Now, the way I have this set up, because now that I'm looking at it and thinking about it, the way I have this set up, so right now we're in room 19, right? But if we go backwards again, it's gonna bring us back to room 19. Because it's taking us backwards based on how this is, and it's only taking us back to this point. And it's always gonna take us back to this point. So if we go through here, it's not gonna bring us back to room 20. It's gonna bring us back to room 19. But at this point, I think something actually broke. Because it wasn't, I didn't account for that. Man, this is some hard stuff. Alright, let's try this again real quick. So I'm in room 20. Room 20, 20. 2019. It's gonna bring us back to room 20. And the game is gonna crash. Because it's like, but you're already, oh, okay. Didn't think about that. Oh, man, this is some hard stuff. Let's see, what can we do here? So now we have, so at first I thought we only had 2 problems, but we actually had 3 problems. We solved one of the problems, so we're back to having 2 problems. Now, let's actually solve the problem we're going forward, because I think that one is solved already. And also I have to change the coordinates for this from 1214. Change that to 12.5. Give me 1 second. I'm getting a phone call. I'll be back in a couple of seconds. Alright guys, I'm back like I never left. Shoot. This is some hard stuff, guys. Some hard stuff. Let's also change this to 2. Because you want to be facing down. Alright. So here's what we could possibly do. Right? Here's what we could possibly do. Actually, before we encounter this before we face this problem and resolve it, let's resolve the 2 original issues, which was going backwards and going forward, and ending back up in the same room. Whew. Okay, so now we could go backwards, and it's not gonna push out a new room, so it's not gonna be a new room number. So now we have to figure out how to go forward without pushing out a new room number. Until we actually, end up where we're supposed to end up. So room 18. Room 18 again. Room 19. Let's go one more. Room 19 again. Cool. Now if we go backwards, it should be 18, 18, 19, 19. But nothing's happening. What? What's happening? Let's see. Just close this. Fade in, escape, blah, blah, blah. Let's try this one more time. See if we're missing anything. Room 18. Why is it trying to do that? Again. All right. So 18, 18, 20, 20, 19. Hopefully this is in 19 again, because then I would think something is up. Okay, nothing is up. It is still random. Okay. So if I go backwards, okay, we're in the right place. Right? And if we go forward, here's where the issue is going to come in. It's going to take us to room 20, but it's also going to add it to the list. So I just want to confirm that that is the case. Or maybe not. It's just breaking. Cool. All right. Backtrack is true. And 5. And 5. All right. Whew. Let's see, that might be it. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe, maybe not. Let's see. And the reason why I'm adding that current is it's to kind of help with moving to the next map. And I'll show you just in a little bit. So if backtrack is true, it's not gonna add a new map. If current is true, it's not gonna add a new map. Let's copy that. Spread these among these. Come back to that. Come back to this, and I'm gonna do that right now. Oh, okay. I also see where I kind of did there's another error in the system, because this is giving me 20 while it should be giving me 21. So that's kind of another error that we had. 20. Then this one's 19. All right. All right. All right. So if this is current, oh yeah, so when backtrack is on, it's gonna turn current to true. Now, if it turns current to true, it's gonna teleport you to that map. But then we also need current to be turned off. But when does current get turned off? Now we need a scenario where current gets turned off. I can't think of it. When will current get turned off? Because look, when you go backwards, it's going to turn on backtrack. When backtrack gets turned on, and then you go back, and then when you go forward, when backtrack is true, it's going to turn off backtrack, but then it's going to turn current on. So that's the current map you're on, which is this. So that's the current map that you're on. Okay, so this over here would turn off current. Because that's what's taking you to the new map. Actually, let me not turn current off over here. So once you get to the deep over here, then at that point, turn current off, check random, teleport me randomly. Okay. That seems to make logical sense. All right, let's try this out. We might be missing one or two things here and there, but that shouldn't be the end of the world. A whole list of errors that we just got. Keep saying, hey, you're trying to do this backtrack thingy, but we don't know what backtrack is. It's okay. You don't gotta know what backtrack is. Don't gotta know what backtrack is yet. So we should be at 19 now. Yep. And then we should be back at 20. Okay, so here's where the issue is. Oh, and there's something simple to fix too. Let's go. We are almost done with this. We forgot the $sign. So that's what's broken over here. Actually, I could just copy this since they're all the same. All right, I think we did it. This may be the finishing line. We still have that last issue to fix, but that I'm not worried about right now. As long as it would let me go back and forth between the last two maps that I was in, that should not be an issue. And also, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna close this just to kind of satisfy the system so we could stop getting all those errors. Backtrack, current. Actually, I don't even have to do that. I could just do var, and define those. Some hard work we're doing here. All right. So if I do F8 now, we're in 21. Why is it still saying backtrack is not defined? I just defined it. Whatever. It's not like it's actually hindering us from doing what we have to do. So we're at 21:19. 21:19:20. So if we go backwards, we should be at 19. And then if we go forward, oh damn it, we still forgot the other. Dang it. You were close, but it's the same issue as last time. There's 2 places that we needed the $sign at. We only put it in one of the places. And let's copy. You know what's funny? I have to kind of stop this video at 3 o'clock because I gotta go pick up my nephew. And it looks like we will be done in time. Well, except for that other issue that we had. But that we could resolve at a later time. At a later time. Or I could just pause the stream and come back. That's another thing I can do. New game. Alright, so if we go forward again, go backwards to the Greenland, go forward to the not Greenland, go backwards to the Greenland, go forward to the non-Greenland, and then when we go forward, it should be a random map. Yes! Random map, random map, random map, random map. Word. So we got it, and we could go backwards. Now where the error comes in is here, because it's going to be like, sir, I don't know where you're trying to go. So we can't go backwards twice. But we could go forward, then backwards, then forward again, then forward, then forward, then forward. The only thing we can't do is go backwards twice. Now we got to figure out another way to go backwards. Well, go backwards as many times as we want. That's where the real kick is going to come in at. But thank you guys again for watching this stream. If you like what you've seen, there's going to be more. So every time I'm working on Dear Heart, I'm just going to make a live stream. And, you know, you guys can be a part of it. Give me some feedbacks and stuff like that. If you are new to the channel, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video. Thumbs down if you didn't like the video. And also, I do have some new music out. The link is down in the description below. If you can support me, I would definitely appreciate you for life. But besides that, that's pretty much it for this video. When we come back, we'll solve the issue where I'm definitely going to restart this live stream once I pick up my nephew from school. So we're going to solve the issue that we have where I can go forward as many times as I want, infinitely, but I can't go backwards infinitely to the same rooms that I was just in. So that is the only thing that we have to fix. But besides that, we are good to go. Thank you guys again for tuning in, and I will see you guys next time. Now let's actually figure out how to stop this. I don't know how to stop this. I don't know how to stop this. Do I click on this? Nope. Basic info. I mean, I guess I could stop it from here. Is that how you do it?